Hello there. Are you guys all here for the party? Let's go. Oh, git. Come on. Go, 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 go. Die. Die. Ah! You didn't even bring a bottle. Screw you guys. Hi there, and welcome back to my Tekkit world. And I just want to show you a quick update of what I've been up to here. So first of all, it's raining, which is annoying. Hopefully I'll get the volumes right. This is the first major change. So this was the open area with the nether portal underneath it, and the area which is going to host all the mechanical bits, the non-equivalent exchange sort of things in Tekkit that I plan to get up to, and I've now filled it with water, which was a bit presumptuous because, as I've said in earlier videos, my plan is to have this split open and part such that it will open up to an area as if it's launching an ICBM up there into the world, but wasn't actually sure when I filled this with water that it would be possible to do that. By the way, I filled it with water using this thing, the Evertide amulet, which I crafted, and then nicely could go around and spawn water wherever you needed, rather than having to deal with lots of buckets. So that made that nice and easy. But anyway, first of all, I created this, filled it with water, and then decided to check whether it's going to be possible to do what I needed. So to do that, I went to my Tekkit sandbox world, and I created this, which is a simplified simulation of what I've got in that hollow there. So we've got an outside surrounding world and an inside bit filled with water. And what I want it to do, which button? This button, yep, is to do this. So I want it to scroll to the side, slowly open to the side like this, revealing my hidden underground James Bond villain-esque base area underneath, like that. So therefore the proof of concept shows it works, and the other button does the opposite, closing it like so. You'll notice that when I'm pressing this, I'm deliberately leaving a pause. If you can watch what the water does, when it moves, it actually either opens up a gap or destroys a source block of water at the other end, depending on which end you're looking at. And in either case, it needs a fraction of a second for the water to reflow and to reform the source blocks in between. So you can see it opens up a gap and then reflows and reforms still water. Now what happens is if you move it repeatedly without giving it time to do that, it's busy destroying the source blocks and it isn't able to reform before it moves again. So this is now moving as quick as I can, and this is the symptom that you get as a result. So you end up with, you've still got water, but it's now flowing water because you've only now got the source blocks at the end that have been dragged by the frame at that end and the frame at that end. So in order to fix this, you would need to go through and add in more water again for it to create a nice still pool again. Now you don't have to add too many in, but it's going to be a lot better if you don't have to do that at all and it just works. So what I've realized is this is going to be more complicated than I thought. Rather than just a signal that will repeat in order to make it step as quickly as possible, a certain number of steps or for a certain length of time, it's going to have to be a case of step, pause, etc. until it's open. So I'm probably going to have to get all the way up to building computers and programming them and signals and things in order to do that. The other complication I've got is those source blocks there. Now you need the source blocks at the end to be dragged by the frame, otherwise they don't work at all. So you have to have a frame at the end. Now, at this end of this contraption, I've put the frame on the same level as the water and then tried to disguise it using dirt cover blocks. And at the other end of the frame, you can't see it particularly well, but underneath, I've put the frame underneath the water source blocks, and to just sort of have a feel for which one works better. The problem of putting the blocks at the end is that you end up with this line of either scaffold looking material, which if you've got two sides of this door closing together, you're going to end up with 2 blocks wide, or you can try to disguise it as soil like this, but you're still going to end up with a pretty ugly sort of soil block down the middle. Or hang on, which is that one to close it this way. If I scroll the other end into view, the other problem you have, if you have the source blocks being dragged by the frame, is that you'll end up with the frame visible under the water like so. Now initially this is better than I'd first thought, which was that actually all of this was going to have to be frame underneath it in order to drag the whole thing. Now the advantage if I did that was it would be able to move at full speed because each source block would all be getting dragged by a frame, but it just looked ugly. I wanted it to look as much like a natural in Minecraft, but a natural looking pond as possible. So at least if I leave them at the end either like this or on the same level as that, I can have them move far enough to be hidden away under a ledge, so that from an outside view, if I move that back, yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen. Yeah, let's put that back and that back and that back, and no, that's not right, and that back, and grab one of those and put that there, and yeah, I got that wrong. What have I got wrong? No redstone, right? Grab the redstone, put the redstone in, put that back. Yeah, accidents happen. Yeah, so if you have it like this, at least you can have it scroll far enough away that from an outside view you can't see the frame blocks at all. So all this is obviously in creative mode. It's just a frame motor with a bit of solar power with bluetricity to drive these in opposite directions. So a signal down here moves it one that way, a signal down here moves it one that way. It's all fairly simple, and it's just the one rail across here to move it backwards and forwards with a spur that comes off. This only actually needs to be one wide. Initially it was the frame was a lot closer. I haven't gone through and tidied this up. And then underneath you've just got the soil as the base, and then the water above that, and then the outside world as just scenery. Yeah, so at least I've proved the principle that it works, but I've also realised just how far away I am from getting to anything like this in my Tekkit world. So without further ado, back to that Tekkit world. You may have noticed just quickly there when I reloaded, I did realise that you can rename worlds, which is good. One of the things that happened while I was filling all this in is I kept getting leaks. So lots of the time I kept having to come down here and tidy up the mess that it had made of the torches from the water spewing down. The other thing I found was that like this, where you've got the water directly above a block, of course you get the drips. When I'd only got this one block thick, that was happening through the whole of this area, and it just felt horrible. So this is now 2 bricks high. So there's actually a brick there and then the soil above that. There isn't on this bit because I needed the way to get up here, so I needed a bit of headroom to get in and out. But yeah, this area is now opened up and is what's going to become the factory area. So I've opened up a bit more space as well. Previously there was a corridor bit here which I'd kept enclosed, which came from the house area over here, and then I realised that once all this is now effectively indoors, it was rather pointless keeping this as an indoor corridor. I have kept this door, however, because if I'm over here doing something on this bit, then the area out there is far enough away for mobs to spawn, and if they can just wander in behind me and blow up, as I described in the other video, that's why I put the door there in the first place and the door over there, so that any mobs that spawn far enough away from me to be able to spawn won't be able to just wander up behind me while I'm busy occupied doing things in here. So I've had it running a fair while, and it's now collected more and more red matter, a bit less energy. Put that away while I'm here. And yeah, that's still continuing collecting out here. and I've also upgraded the Klein stars to higher ones. These are busy charging at the moment, so I've upgraded to a Klein star sphere. The one I've got in my inventory at the moment to dry, which is holding the charge for the Swift Wolf's Rending Gale ring to fly around. And I've also got a Fia and a Fia, which are both charging as well. Those two will need to be combined eventually to create another Klein sphere, and then once I've got 4 of these, I think it is, to get the Alchemist Tome, I can then put that into the tablet and open up being able to instantly transmute anything that I haven't discovered already. This rain is very annoying. I've also been breeding the cows, which you saw on the adventure. I did go off and find another cows. I think I actually brought 2 back at the same time. One of the things that surprised me was that breeding 2 cows of the same colour ends up producing cows of different colour. So these lighter brown ones appeared from nowhere, but I think that's just a quirk of the Mo animals, Mo whatever it is, things. Another little side project I've started is I decided this area over here needed to be something, but rather than build at this level, I decided to build a sort of underground area, and it opened up into a chamber for storage. And then I was trying to figure out how to come to the surface. That's ended up coming out over here. So yeah, the idea is that this would be where I can store things, and that each corner of this area would be for different items. So I don't know, you could have armor over here, you could have food items over here, ores over here. What else is there? Can't think what other categories there would be, but energy bits perhaps over there. So yeah, not quite finished. As you can see, there's one chest short there that I didn't get around to crafting at the moment, and I haven't come up with a categorization bits for each area yet. But other than that, things are progressing. I really now, the next thing on the agenda is to start with the build craft, industrial craft, whichever bits it is that I need to start working on in here in the factory side of things, in order to eventually get to the stage of being able to do my ambition of having this opening ceiling. So what I've got in mind is to turn this into a automatic crafting area with various sections going on. So for instance, you'd have a chest to drop wood in, which would get automatically crafted into planks, which would get automatically crafted into sticks, which would get automatically crafted into, say, cogs, and then into stone cogs, and then into iron cogs, and then into etc. etc. You get the idea. With chests coming out of each one being filtered so that only some of the items go on to the next stage to get the next most advanced things, but you can still come back and collect all the stages of the items if you need them for crafting as well. So all of that is going to need power for the different macerations and things, for the ores, for the compressor, for the extractors, all that sort of stuff that's going to be needed. Not so much for the one I've just described there, which will just need the automatic crafting benches, I think, and wood pipes, advanced, what are they called? The wooden pipes that drag things out there, they'll just need redstone anyway, so those won't particularly need energy to do those bits, just wood, redstone, and patience and time to lay it all out. So I'll have an idea, one area of there for maybe a wood pipeline, another area for ores, another area for something else, I'm not sure yet. I have spent quite a bit of time working through the Tekkit wiki to figure out the most efficient sort of pipelines and what order to lay things out on, and also decisions about what to do in terms of energy. And that volcano that's off over there, I think, is going to be one of the sources of energy that I'm going to be tapping into. So I need to manually build the bits needed to start off the geothermal processes and things like that, but also possibly get some solar cells going and some wind farms up on the roof, things like that. Just coming down here, oh hello, I've got ladders on both sides. Oh yes, that's just in case I fall down here, so the ladders will grab you on either side. That's right. Yeah, I've done a bit of work around here on the zombie XP grinder bit as well, so it's got a bit more space, and I can come down here and then come and sit in a nice little safe corner and go away from the keyboard while the zombies accumulate before coming over and collecting the XP. And as you can see down at the bottom, currently got an XP level of 30, which I need to go off and do some enchantments with, get some more items enchanted ready. Don't think I've got a silk touch pickaxe sorted yet. That's one of the things that I do need to be able to get some of the things that I want. Yeah, but other than that, things are progressing quite nicely. But I would appreciate any comments or suggestions. Anybody that's experienced working with Tekkit, well, that's a nice view, let's use that one. Then any ideas as to what else to be building, what order to put things in, hints and tips about what types of machines to build first, what order to put them in, things like that would be great. Other than that, see you next time.